Hello, people. Let's make sure that I'm on air here. Don't want to be on air when nothing is happening. Yeah, we're on air. Okay. And I talk slow so that people can hear exactly what I'm saying. Is your check engine light on your car or your pickup truck or your SUV? And are you getting codes like, okay, on the Ford F-150, like I have, it's a 2002 model, of code PO172 and PO175, which means rich code on both engine banks, which is the left engine side and the right engine side, which would be for V6 engines and V8 engines. Has that happened to you? Okay, let me explain something to you. Okay, when I was having that issue, just out of, when I fix things that I have, I do all my own work, okay? I like to just go ahead and type it in and see what other people are doing, you know? And I've heard a lot of wrong information on here from people that tell people they have them looking in the wrong directions. Like if you're getting rich codes, like it could be a MAF sensor or a vacuum leak. No, people. If an engine cranks or after it's running, if it runs relatively smooth and there's no hesitation when you accelerate, that MAF sensor is working right. Because when a MAF sensor is faulty, what you're going to get is erratic up and down idling, or it can be, it'll suddenly shut off, the engine will shut off, or when you go to accelerate, you won't get a response, and you have to wait, and then it'll suddenly, the vehicle will go, you know. Okay, you're going to get that type thing. You know, if once that engine is running, you know, if you're able to drive from one stop to another, and that engine is running smooth, your MAF sensor's okay, people. So don't worry about that. But here's something to worry about. Okay, or not worry about, but take care of. First thing a person should do, your air filter. Make sure your air filter's not all dirty or clogged. You know, make sure your air cleaner's okay, alright? That's number one. Okay, the next thing to focus on, if you're getting these rich codes, purge valves, purge valves, purge valves, purge valves. Alright. You might have a purge valve that is, it speaks in here about purge valves that are stuck open. No, that's not going to cause a rich code. A purge valve that is stuck open can cause longer cranking times and would cause a lean condition. Because, see, when the engine's idling, it would be open and you would have too much air versus your fuel trim, you know, your fuel. That would cause lean codes if a evaporative purge valve were stuck open. Now, if a purge valve is stuck closed, that will cause rich codes, like on the Ford, the PO172 and the PO175. Okay, so here's how you would want to check a purge valve. First thing you do, with the ignition key on, take a test light. Okay, unplug the plug from the purge valve. Alright, with the key turned on, one of those, most of them have two pin type plugs, or they can have, you know, the flat type. Put that test light in each one with that key on. One of those, that test light should light up. If that happens, your circuit's okay. So go cut the key off, plug the purge valve back in. Alright, now next thing you do, alright, and the engine can be cold or it can be hot. Either one. Alright, you have two connections on a purge valve. One goes to the intake manifold or the throttle body. Alright, leave that alone. Another one, one of the lines, it has two, goes to the gas tank and the evaporative canister. It's usually at the rear of the vehicle, or can be about midways on some. Alright, unplug that one. Take that hose loose. Alright, now go start the engine. Now, those are designed on most all vehicles to where they're not going to open until 3 to 5 minutes. They're set up that way. But after 5 minutes, a purge valve is supposed to open. Okay? So let that engine run and just be patient for about 5 minutes. If after 6 minutes that purge valve is not open, change that purge valve. Okay? Because that's what's causing it to get these rich codes. Alright, that's what's causing that. See, a purge valve being stuck closed or open causes the opposite results. And a purge valve will not always produce a code either, but you'll just get rich codes or lean codes instead. Alright? And don't worry about your O2 sensors. I've got another video at my channel here. You can watch it about O2 and HO2 sensors. Generally, if there's a problem with the O2 or HO2 sensor, the upstream or downstream O2 sensor, you're going to get a code for it. If you don't have a code for those sensors, that's not your problem. Don't worry about it. Okay? Now, here's some information that's not correct that I keep hearing. I keep hearing it in videos. It says, check for vacuum leaks. No, people. A vacuum leak will give you a lean code. If you have a vacuum leak, it's going to cause a lean code because you're going to get more air versus the fuel trim or amount of fuel that your engine is getting through the injectors. You see? That's going to produce a lean codes. If you've got rich codes, you don't have a vacuum leak, people. What you have is a oxygen starvation issue going on. That engine wants more air. If you had a vacuum leak, it would be getting more air than it's supposed to get. You see what I'm saying? So no, don't look for a vacuum leak, because that's not your problem. Your problem is a purge valve that's stuck closed. Not stuck open, but stuck closed, or not opening at all. Now, if a purge valve is stuck closed and won't open, and when you test the circuit plug that plugs into the purge valve, and that test light doesn't light up, purge valves have a fuse. Usually they're in your distribution, or some call it your junction box under the hood. Or it can be you know, in your dash panel, you know, generally on the driver's side, you know, down by just above the parking brake and below your instrument panel or whatever. Make sure the, you know, purge valve fuse isn't blown if you're not getting any current. You know, when I told you in the beginning of this video how to check to make sure you're getting current, you know, with that plug, you know, with the key on, unplug the plug, and then push the test light onto each prong. You know, there will be two of them usually. One of them needs to light up, okay? Because, see, one's a ground and one's a positive, all right? All right, if that's working, see, that's not your problem. You know, a purge valve can stick closed or stick open. If it sticks open, you're going to get lean codes. If it sticks closed, you're going to get rich codes, okay? The other thing that can cause that is air filters. Air filters, people, can be a problem. Now, a person could get rich codes, let's say, once you're driving at highway speed, and you start building up vacuum in that tank. That could make it to where the purge valve, the intake, could not pump any air through the purge valve, so it would be the equal of being closed even if it was open. Make sure your gas cap is good. See, a gas cap is supposed to be able to suck in air. When there's vacuum in that tank, that gas cap is supposed to be able to suck in air. A lot of people don't know that. See, air can't push out of a gas cap, but a gas cap, air can suck inward. You know, if your gas cap is over, change your gas cap. You know, make sure that that's working properly. You know, it's easy to check the gas cap if you know what you're doing. I just wipe them off real good with a paper towel so I don't get gasoline on my lips. All right, and you can push the middle part in. It has a spring behind it. And you can literally put your mouth around that and try to suck in air. If that's working right, you'll be able to do it. You know, these are things I've learned with experience, okay? But I hope that some of you or everybody can view this video and stop listening to the wrong advice. Unless you're getting an O2 sensor code, it's not your O2 sensor, okay? And if you have a vacuum leaner, a vacuum leak up on your engine or the vacuum lines, or, you know, that's going to cause lean codes, not rich codes. So you don't have a vacuum leak if you're getting rich codes, okay? Okay, next thing, a MAF sensor. I told you how to determine if a MAF sensor is good or not good. Okay, the other thing, if you hadn't changed your air cleaner for a while, or depending on where you've been, from what it might have gotten on that air cleaner, take it out and check that air cleaner, people. Check that out. You see, that's your engine's only source through that throttle body bore, is through that air cleaner, okay? Okay, if I left anything out here, da-da-da-da, it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day. Okay, fuel pressure regulator, could that cause rich codes? No. Because, see, as long as when an engine is running, even if it takes longer to crank, if it's running smooth, the fuel pressure regulator is working fine, okay? And, you know, as far as the regulator is concerned, you know, like if you're running an engine, okay, or even when it's cold, you go to the Schroeder valve on the fuel rail, unscrew the cap, you push that rotor valve needle in, some gasoline ought to come out. Now, if it's sat there for days, it might not, But otherwise, some fuel ought to come out. So your pressure regulator's holding enough fuel in those fuel rails, okay? Unless it's been setting for more than a day or so. But, the way to test that, like at the fuel rail, just turn the key on, wait 10 seconds, and then turn the key off. When you go up there and push that rotor valve in, some fuel should come out. Okay? That's the way to test that. Oh, man. I need $1 million and a place to spend it. Probably a place to spend $1 million is right where I'm sitting. There's plenty of people that'll take your money from you if you don't watch out. Watch these repair shops, people. Those are muggers. Because anytime you go to any repair shop, here's what you're looking at. A person that's got rent to pay or mortgage payment to pay. That's what you're dealing with. They're not thinking about you. They're going to get whatever they can out of you. Hell, they'd take your soul from you if they could. But anyway, Jesus Christ is the answer. And if you listen to my video, it'll help you out. It'll save you a lot of trouble, okay? Anyway, have a great old day or a great old night. Bye-bye.